the 4 alchemy stages of awakening and the love of your life. Sometime after you awake to your divine nature, you will experience the 4 stages of alchemy. The time it takes for us to wake up is different for everybody. Here, the first stage is the blackening. Here, some people say they start noticing crows. For me, it was pigeons that started making noise at a level that I cannot even describe. And the irony of that situation was nobody else experienced it or could agree to me as to how loud these pigeons are making a noise. In the beginning, like we said, most people experience crows, noticing crows. It could be something different for you. They notice it in the world around them, and like daily, making their squawking sounds, causing all kinds of havoc, and they make this noise to the point where it really starts to bother you. Then you'll know you are clearly in the Negredo stage or the blackening stage, which is where you intend to confront, you are intended to confront and learn the aspects of your shadow. Those aspects of yourself you've repressed so deeply into your subconscious mind so as to not identify with them whatsoever. These are the things that you don't like about yourself. Then we go to the next stage, which is the yellowing, and also called albedo. It is a respite, and many confuse this stage as enlightenment stage in itself. Anyway, when this stage appears, it seems like you're getting a bit of a break and that life is not that bad after all. Much of this activity will be precipitated by some life crisis. As we proceed to the next stage, we start experiencing opening of our third eye, the eye that can see everywhere, and it's represented by the peacock, which has so many eyes on all of its feathers. This is represented by yellowing. It's kind of a greenish yellow. And imagine the beauty of the peacock opening up. This is the center of the wave of new experiences. You'll start experiencing these things on a day-to-day basis. In fact, you'll start to see new experiences and perceptions that you have not experienced before. Then you'll be introduced to the concept of the animus and the anima. The anima and the animus would be a representation of all those things you haven't liked about yourself and have not been attracted to in yourself, that personify the opposite sex. We meet our anima, that would be our opposite sex personality type, embodied in the form of someone you would normally think not to be attractive, and now you find yourself magnetically drawn to this personage. This would likely be a romantic love relationship with this person of the opposite sex. And this could also be a person representing the opposite divine polarity denominator in same-sex relationships. This is called rubedo, or the reddening. The rubedo leads up to the alchemical marriage, a necessary step in a process of the final integration of the shadow into our consciousness, whereupon you start to see the world in terms of empathy, love and compassion. The alchemical marriage is such a critical aspect of the alchemy that it is something that must be entered to as a sacred union. Think of it not as a physical union per se, but rather the union of the two sides of your mind. The left brain, which if you're right-handed, representing rational thought, the seat of the mind and natural sciences like physics and chemistry, and the right brain being the seat of music, creativity, irrational thought, out-of-the-box thinking, as well as total creativity. When we learn to merge these two aspects, then we find ourselves, our lives take on an entirely different meaning and scope, as if by overnight. And then the soul emerges as a newly resurrected, and we call this the stage of the phoenix. This is when the soul takes flight to experience once again the oneness of self. The alchemical bath represents the union of the marriage between the left and right sides of the brain. It will also be represented by a real person that you will meet in life, in your experience, that will represent all the things that until that moment in time you would not have thought, you would never be attracted to or drawn to whatsoever. And somehow you find yourself almost magnetically, and somehow you find yourself drawn almost magnetically to this person who represents the personification or projection from your own subconscious of all those things, and usually in the opposite gender form. Stutter, stutter, stutter. Hello Loki. Hello Loki. Anyway, let's continue. And this person will appear to become a prominent figure in your life. This person could also be a person of the opposite divine inclination in same-sex couples. The alchemical marriage is a necessary step to learn to fully integrate the feminine principle, or as the case may be, the masculine principle, to gain rebalance necessary prior to resurrection, which is often by not only the phoenix but the butterfly, and also the alchemical reference of the dragonfly. These spiritual animals or spirit animals many a times represent the stage of alchemy, and all of this is intended to bring us to the Shen or the Zin. The Zin or Zin is represents the spirit. I hope you enjoyed this video.